Welcome, Ellisa Mae, Gene Keys expert, spiritual business mentor, to Random Spirit Podcast. Woo!
Yay! Thank you, Cynthia. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. I'm telling you, I'm fangirling like for real because I'm telling you, you've done readings for me like Gene Keys, and girl, the way that the way that like you can like read into it. Do you have psychic gifts?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The way you could read into it, and then there's probably like some channeling going on. Like you have helped me a lot with my own business. We're gonna get into that, but introduce yourself, please.
Yes. Yay. Thank you so much for having me. I'm obsessed with you. I love you so much. So this is such an honor to be here with you. So yes, my name is Alyssa. I am a Gene Keys expert and a spiritual business mentor for spiritual entrepreneurs. And I currently live in San Diego, California. And I'm just like so obsessed with the work that I do. I feel like I finally found a place in my life where I'm living my purpose. I have a spiritual business. I'm also a 9 to 5 corporate girly. So I feel like I wear so many different hats. I'm a recruiter in the automotive industry, and I hire for 36 of our locations in San Diego, which also kind of fits into my gene keys. I'll talk a little bit later with my life's work being aspiration. And yeah, I just feel like I'm at a really good place in my life. It was not always like this. I'm 36 now, but when I was younger, my teenage years and young 20s were literally a hot mess. And so I feel like it's just so cool because now that I have all of these modalities and things that I love, I can understand myself at such a deeper level looking back at the shadows that I have. And I feel like it was all for such a special reason because I can deeply understand my clients. Like there's like nothing that there's like nowhere that I'm afraid to go because I've been literally, I feel like, to the depths of hell in a lot of different ways. And I just feel like it's such an inspiration to be in a place now where I love my life, literally.
I love that. I'm so happy. I want to talk about the trauma, Alyssa.
Yes.
I want to talk about the depths of hell. Okay, so I'm looking, I have my little Gene Key book. What number is the aspiration? I don't think I've read that. I don't read Gene Keys 1 to 64. I just like, I look at my kids and my stuff, and then, yeah.
Yes, exactly. And I feel like that's how it is supposed to be, you know? It's like we just read the ones that like are ours and
Mhm.
like call to us first. So it's Gene Key 54 is my life's work.
54.
And it's
Okay.
just crazy because
Ooh.
there's so many different ones that like pair together that just like make such a crazy like shadow mixture.
All right. Alyssa, tell me, what were you doing around like 20 years old? Like, where was Alyssa? What were you doing?
Okay, yeah. So when I was 20 years old, I was going to college full time. I was going to community college. It actually took me 10 years to graduate because I was always changing my major and just like partying. So I would like drop classes or get W's. Like I'm really smart if I apply myself. Like I can get A's, or if I just like don't care, or I had a lot of social anxiety that would come up, so I would drop classes all the time. Anytime there was going to be like group work, I was like, I'm leaving. Like I don't want to talk to people. Um,
Why?
yeah, okay, so I feel like kind of to go back, I feel like I had a really good childhood. Like growing up, I feel
Yes.
like my childhood was so great. I came from really loving parents, like super blessed and fortunate to have so many good friends. I
Mhm.
was in Girl Scouts and sports and clubs and just like really social. I'm a 2-4 in human design, so very like I need my network of people, but then also
Mhm.
I'm really comfortable having alone time. And a really big part of my design as well is like friendships. Like I need friendships to literally be healthy, and without them, I feel like that's where I literally lose myself. And so when I was in 8th grade, we moved cross country from Colorado to California for my dad's job. And my mom, she told us not to tell any of our friends because she thought that they would like want to stop talking to us immediately. Like, you know, like, oh, I'm like, oh, you're leaving, so what's the point of like talking to you anymore? That's kind of like her fear based thought. So I didn't even tell anyone on the last day of school in 7th grade that I was leaving. And it was so traumatizing to have to like move somewhere completely different. I was coming from the Midwest, and so I felt like this like weird, nerdy, like Midwest person coming into like California. And up until that point, until eighth grade, I was super like sheltered, like really
Okay.
sheltered. I literally did not know anything about anything, just like super sheltered growing up. My parents never fought in front of us. My parents would drink, but it was like very social and like really
Yeah.
fun. Like when I would see them like having parties and it was very social. So I moved in eighth grade and I felt completely like I lost all bearings. I also this is like a side note, but in human design, I have a lot of open centers, so I'm like a super empathic, very open person, like very sensitive. And so I started to feel super uncomfortable and developed what I thought was like social anxiety. But really I just later on realized I didn't have like my people, my friends. But anyways, I'm like, I feel like, where am I
It's
going with
okay.
this? I feel like, yeah, it's like there's so many like avenues I could go. But anyways, so I didn't really have my friend group. I found a friend group and I started drinking when I was in eighth grade. And the first time I ever drank, it was like a friend, my parents' like friend's party. I literally, Cynthia, felt like the coolest bitch in the world. Like I was like, I had that first drink and I was like, oh my God, like this is what it feels like to feel so good, to feel like, because what it did is it literally numbed all of these like weird feelings that I was always feeling, right, from picking up on other people's
Mm,
emotions. And then
yeah.
also it completely like took away any thoughts of myself, of like perceiving myself and like feeling like I'm being perceived by other people. So I immediately just like became obsessed with drinking. And so pretty much from like my whole like high school career was just me ditching school a lot and just like drinking or like smoking weed. And it was always like to just feel better. Like, and also I just wanted to be cool. Like, I just wanted to be like this, like, I don't know how to describe it, but like coming from like the Midwest again, like being very sheltered, I feel like I just wanted to be this like super cool, like rebellious person. Like, I was trying so hard to be like
Yeah.
different. And so I got in a lot of trouble for like skinny dipping or stealing.
Alyssa.
Like we would go to like we would like break into like different like houses or apartments like pools
Hmm.
in the middle of the night and just like go skinny dipping. So I had to have my parents pick me up in the middle of the night from the police like twice from that. I would like sneak out and my parents would wake up and see that I'm not there and they'd be like, where the fuck are you? So it was just a lot of like that, just like a lot of like rebellious energy.
Yeah.
And then I also got arrested for like stealing alcohol. Like I learned how to steal. Like we would just go into Vaughn's and just like grab like handles of liquor and just like put it in our bag and just like walk out because we're like, oh, this is like so easy. So just
Hmm.
like little shit like that. So, but what was so weird is that I didn't have like almost this. You know when people are younger and they're experiencing trauma, it's almost like it
Yeah.
makes sense why they're like reacting like
Yes.
that.
Yes.
And so like I would have to go do these like court ordered volunteer group stuff with like other like juvenile kids and like I just like it was so weird because you could tell like they were deeply hurting and had a lot of trauma and I was just like, "Oh, like I just wanted to do this because it was fun." Like I don't know, it was just really weird. Later in life, like after learning about my gene keys and learning that because friendships are so important to my soul, like I would literally do anything, even risking like getting in trouble just to like have those friendships. So it's kind of one of those things of like aligning with like the wrong group for the wrong
Yeah.
reasons, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, so then fast forward to like being 20. When I was 20, I was going to college, working like multiple different jobs. I've always had jobs since I graduated high school. But I ended up, my, like the first love of my life or like first boyfriend in high school, I met him and then we were together for 7 years. It became super toxic. And this is where I really learned that I completely kind of like lost myself, my voice. It was toxic on both ends, but it was very codependent, like super
Mm.
codependent. So he would like take my car and my phone and like use that as his own and like sell drugs. And then I would just literally be at my in my room like literally emailing him like, hey babe, like when are you coming back or like when are you coming home on my own email so that he could like use my phone to check my email and be like, oh, I'm here at this place, like maybe I'll come back later, maybe I won't. And so I was always like really stressed out, like am I gonna have a right to work, am I not gonna have a right to work? And I just kept finding myself in these really like disempowering as fuck situations.
Mm. I'm sorry.
Hmm.
That was, you said 7 years.
Yeah. Hmm.
How'd you get out?
So I actually had to move away. That's like the only way that this ever worked. I tried so many times to break up. I tried like different friend groups, like working at different places, but always he would just somehow come back into my life, like call my work or show up at work and be like, "Hey, like let's hang out or whatever." So and also I was very close with his family. Like I really did love his family, really good friends with his sister, loved his mom. So it was like a really hard like separation that had to be done, but it was just really toxic. So I ended up moving like 5 hours away where I had no friends, didn't know anyone, and I got into this like university. So I had like finished all my undergraduate community colleges and then went to college. But like I felt really weird because at the time I was 25 and I felt like I was so old because everyone that was like just going to college or living in the dorms was like 18. And
Mhm.
so now knowing now like 25 isn't old, but when you're 25 you feel like it's really old, you know? And I was just like,
No,
"Oh my
for
God."
real.
Yeah, like this is so weird. I feel like so old with like these babies and like they can't even drink, yet or whatever. Anyways, I ended up moving away. That's how I broke off that relationship. Left all my friends and I stopped drinking because I really wanted to stop drinking. Like that was like always my goal. I would literally like cry to God, like, "God, please just help me find one cool person to show me that life can be really fun without alcohol," because I did not think that was possible. Like
Hmm.
literally. Like I was like there's no like I would see people who didn't drink and I'm like, "You're so boring. Like your life is so boring." I would think they're like such a loser, but I was like
No,
later
yeah.
on like realizing like, "Oh, literally peace is just like what I was afraid to have, you know?"
Are you
Um,
the oldest?
yeah.
How many? I know you have a brother.
Yeah, I have one
I
brother.
okay, and
Hmm.
you don't have a sister.
No.
Okay,
I have a
interesting.
stepsister.
Okay, love that. Is she
Hmm.
younger?
She's older.
Okay. Do you have a relationship with her? I'm getting
Mm-mm.
so personal, Alyssa. I'm
No.
sorry. Okay.
No, I don't. Yeah, so it was just like me. I was really mean to my brother. Like growing up, we were really mean to each other. It's not until later in life, as adults, we're so close now, like best friends. He moved into like my same apartment, so he lives like literally 5 doors down. We go to the gym together. We do all of these things. But when we were younger, I was really mean to him because he would always want to come in with me and my friends, and I would just be like, "No, like go away."
Bye. Oh my goodness. What was the like belief system in your household growing up? Like religion, spiritual, like what was that?
Yeah, so it was religious. Both of my parents grew up in the Midwest on farms, and so like they had their own like very unique childhood. So like my grandparents on my dad's side were very religious. My grandma was a teacher. Absolutely no alcohol in the house. So like anytime we would go to Christmases or like visit them, like it was like no alcohol. So like my uncles would like go out hunting and like drink on the side and like it was just like you can't bring it into that house, so like very
Mm,
strict. And then on my mom's side, also grew up on a farm. Her parents didn't drink, but my grandpa was actually in I think I forget. Oh my gosh, I forget what war it was because I'm really bad at history. But
mhm.
he was a prisoner in one of the wars and was shot down, and
Oh
so he got like
no.
super bad PTSD from that, mixed with what's the word, dementia. So he became
Oh.
very like really mean. Like it was a really hard work, or like not work, like life environment, I think, for my mom growing up, because yeah, he was just so paranoid and like it was really sad. So in my family, we grew up Lutheran, like going to church every Sunday. My parents, I forgot to mention this. Oh, duh. I forgot to mention this, like, main
It's
part
okay.
of like why else I feel like I kind of wanted to rebel so bad. It's because my parents divorced when I was 16. So it was like, oh, that divorce, like, literally
I'm
came out of nowhere.
sorry.
Yeah. And it literally, I was just like, what is life? I feel like it just fractured something in me because my parents, again, never fought in front of us. So it was just like, it literally came out of nowhere to us. But that's the other problem that I see in a lot of families is like, it was the type of family that does not communicate. It's the type of family that, like, pretends like everything is fine, you know? And so it's like very surface level, like, not talking about people's business, like, very much like, the shadow I can think of in the Gene Keys is like proper. Like when people try to be like, oh, I'm so proper, but underneath, like everyone has all of these issues that no one is talking about. And so I never learned how to communicate properly, really, until my current boyfriend. Um, but yeah, so growing up, it was like religious, going to church every Sunday. But like I don't know. It was weird. I always felt very connected to God, and I always felt like very moved from God, but I never really fell in love with like reading the Bible or anything. I never like memorized any of the stuff, even though I had to go through confirmation. Even in my young 20s, I was a minister's assistant. So this is where I felt like I was living a double life because I would be
Mm.
so hungover from partying. I would wake up and go and literally lead like the prayer and help with communion. And I'm like so hungover and I'm like, what am I doing? And I felt like all of these Lutheran or Christian people were like really good and I was somehow bad or I
Mm.
just felt like very like fragmented. And then later I realized that like, oh, I actually don't agree with a lot of like structured religion at all. And I had this like huge spiritual awakening in college when I took this class that was called like the afterlife, and my professor was like 65 or 70 years and his whole life he studied every single religion and the afterlife and like mediumship and bedside
Hmm.
visions and near death experiences. So that's when I learned I was a soul living like in a human body, and then I kind of like created my own beliefs and like got tapped into spirituality.
Wow. So you got into spiritual. Okay. How did you ever feel like misplaced with that, like with the Lutheran?
Yeah, so again, it was like I would go to these classes. Oh, also Bible study again, like confirmation every single week, and like I was with these like group of kids my age, obviously like learning this stuff, but I just like never resonated with what I was reading, or
Mm.
and I never felt super connected. But then I always just felt a very deep connection to like something bigger than me. So I feel like I always did have a relationship with like God, but like it wasn't this like religious type of God, if that makes sense.
Wow. Okay. Do you feel like you have religious trauma?
I think I definitely did. I think I definitely used to because it was honestly like it literally blew my mind. Something that I learned from my professor was like, you know how monasteries, I think they're called monasteries, or like groups of certain churches will like go to different countries and like
Yes.
yeah, and try to spread their religion. In my mind, I was like, so you're telling me if someone that lives in this country way over here that no one ever went and spoke the word of God to them and they didn't accept Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior, they're going to go to hell. I'm like, that doesn't fucking make sense. Like,
Yeah.
and, yeah, so it was really cool to just like learn all of the different religions and see how there's like kind of like an underlying truth in all of them. And then it's just like kind of based on culture, like what people believe certain things about.
Mm. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. Where did Gene Keys come in? Because girl, I'm like hyped. I'm excited. I want to share. When,
Yes.
when was that introduced to you? Or like when did you discover it?
Okay, so that came like literally so much later. I feel like I had my I feel like I was like 27 when I really had my like main spiritual awakening. And so I started learning about all these different things like chakras. That was like the
Hmm.
first thing. Like I literally got a book. I will never forget this. I got my first like spiritual book was about chakras and I was reading each one and I was like, "Oh my fucking God. Like this makes so much sense to me. Like energy makes sense. And
Hmm.
I have never heard of anything like that before. So it was kind of like a lot of years of finding different stuff, listening to podcasts, reading books. I first found human design and learned human design and how to like read for other people and read for myself. And then my human design teacher, her best friend teaches the gene keys. And so then I was introduced to her world.
Mm.
And then I was like, oh my God, I feel like this is my language. Like it just makes so much sense. Like I love how it's like the shadow to the gift to the city. And it gives us such a clear path of like alchemizing our pain that I was just like, this makes so much sense.
And then I think that the Gene Keys and human design, don't they connect in a way?
Yes. So Richard Rudd is the main messenger of the gene keys. It came through him, and he was actually a student of Ra Uruhu, who was the main messenger of human
Really?
design. Yeah, he
I
was
didn't even know that.
yeah, he was
Wow.
his student, and Ra Uruhu actually gave him rights to open up his own HD human design school in the UK. And so he was like teaching classes about human design, and he realized he's like, why is it that some of the gates are like really positive and some of them seem kind of negative? And he's like, I feel like all of them should have some sort of like, you know, shadow and also this like higher frequency. And then it actually took him 10 years to write the Gene Keys book, and also it like came through him through this whole like
Yes.
vision process. um And yeah, and so yeah, it's he was literally his student, and so it's kind of cool how these systems just like move through the like main people because I feel like we're all just like messengers of these like if we resonate, I feel like we're part of like the same fractal line, and then we get to
Mhm.
learn it and now go out and share it with our people, which is so cool.
Define a fractal line.
Yeah, okay. So I feel like okay, there's like a really sciency like metaphysical explanation, and I'm not a great science girly, but essentially what it is in just layman's terms is like all of our souls incarnated into this lifetime like to learn very specific lessons, okay? And so there are going to be groups of people who are vibrating at this like at a certain frequency, and you're going to be attracting those people when you're also vibrating at that frequency, and it's almost because like those are your people. It's like to teach you lessons and like to learn things from them. And so we have fractal lines of people as we're like healing and really growing, right, and evolving as humans, which I feel like is like the main point of life is like to evolve. Is like we have certain friends, fans, raving fans, students, people that literally came into this lifetime to learn from us and to kind of like learn the certain things that we're here to share. So we can have like we can
Yeah.
kind of be a part of like different fractals. So, like I feel like I know you love the Jinkies too, so I feel like we're a part of that fractal.
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you for explaining that because I hear
Yeah.
you say it a lot. I hear you say it a lot, and I believe in the Gene Keys there's actual like fractal lines.
Yeah,
And
and
mhm.
it's like it really has to do with light. Like everything
Mhm.
in the universe and like it is made up of light particles. And so it has a lot to do with like prisms and like different light like again, I'm not really super scientific, so it's like I don't really know how to explain it from that, but
No, yeah.
it's like you know what I mean? It's like these certain like light frequencies are going to just resonate. It's like also made up of like patterns, like geometrical patterns, which is really interesting.
Okay, thank you for that explanation.
Mhm.
Okay, random question.
Mhm.
What's your favorite Gene Key? Do you
Uh
have a favorite?
yeah, I feel like I love so many and then every time I'm like doing a transmission or something like, "Oh, this is my favorite one." But like to all of them, but I feel like for me, I really love Jinky 48, which is my vocation and also my biggest core wound. So Jinky 48 is the shadow is inadequacy, and so for me that's been like my specific struggle my entire life is like feeling inadequate. But the gift is resourcefulness, and also like that's how I've literally manifested anything in my life is from just being resourceful and like trusting in myself, and like instead of being afraid of the future and like always needing to know what's the answer, like do I know enough, just trusting that it'll come out of me because we have this like well of depth within us that's like beyond book knowledge or information. It's literally will just come out when it's like the correct timing.
So, okay, this is your vocation. Don't tell me, Alyssa, because I'm learning. The vocation sphere is that's in the pearl sequence
Yes.
and it's associated with the core. So
Yes.
the vocation, I believe from what I've read, is like the deepest calling,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's interesting because something that I am like because I'm studying it, right? I'm studying the gene keys and it's yeah. So like the gift for sort because this is actually my Cynthia. You should know this. This is my EQ and this is my pearl.
Ah, oh really? Oh
It
my
is,
god,
girl. It is.
I love it.
So I like to like read the gift over and over and over and over. And I know Richard Rudd says, do not take it literal.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, like, what he says is literal, but like something with the resourcefulness where like in the different spheres, I'm like, with how can you be in the gift? So for instance, example, you can like check me, correct me.
Mm-hmm.
But with my EQ, I'm realizing that the resourcefulness of that is if I'm triggered and someone makes me feel inadequate or like whatever, like I don't know, some situation comes up, like I use any like methods or like any healing stuff or just like remind myself like, hey, you're not like 15-year-old Cynthia anymore, like just try to be in your gift. That's how I feel my resourcefulness is in my EQ,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So for you, like if you can share like how you really get into that gift in your vocation because it's also the core
Mm-hmm.
and the core isn't the core just like a challenging part aside from the what was the other one called? The evolution. Those two were
The core is also going to be a part of the Venus sequence. So it's the very
yes.
last, yeah, it's the very last sphere in the Venus sequence, which is like our biggest core wound. Once we alchemize it, it now becomes the first stop in the pearl, which is like, oh, this is my greatest core talent, essentially.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, and it sounds like for you it's just like literally just trusting in the universe.
Yes. And our what's really cool is like our vocation can kind of also tell us like what our greatest core talent is like what we're here to give to the collective. So if you think
Yes.
about it, it makes so much sense that I because I know so deeply how it feels to be inadequate, if I'm helping spiritual entrepreneurs with their business, I know every single flavor of how they're going to feel like it fucking is so hard to be an entrepreneur, right? And how they feel inadequate in business and with clients, with their gifts, right? And so then I kind of become the perfect match to teach them resourcefulness and how to find like their own depth within them. And like the modalities that I use is the gene keys. And then I show them this is like beyond any certification or any qualification, this is why you're
Yes.
so equipped to be this, to live your purpose, is because of this. Like, so that's kind of
I
how I do it.
love that. I love
Hmm.
it. Oh my gosh. My core is 7.
What is that? What's the gift of it?
Uh, Guidance.
Ooh, I love that. I can totally see that.
The shadow
Literally.
is division. And girl, when I tell you, I have been like trying to go deep into the gene keys, and it's so interesting because I think Richard Red talks about the hierarchy and trying to like one up people. And I feel like we are conditioned just in general, like as humans, for us to be in the position of like, I'm gonna tell you what to do.
Hmm.
Alyssa, it's hard. It's hard to like bring myself down. And then like the interesting thing, maybe it's because I'm a Virgo and I overthink, I don't know, but it's like I sit here and then like it triggers something in me and I'm sitting here, I'm like, well shit. Now I feel inadequate as fuck. And I'm like, well damn. But anyway, yeah, mine is Gene Key 7, and that one I'm trying to embody and I'm like I'm trying to sit with when it comes to my
Hmm.
gene keys.
Yeah, it's so cool. I'm a Virgo rising, so I feel you on the
Yes.
Virgo-ness. And isn't Jinky 7 also like one of the greatest like leadership type of archetypes?
They say, yeah, that's what he says. Yeah.
Yes, not they say, it is. See, like that's inadequacy. Like saying like, oh,
Alyssa,
supposedly they
stop.
say it. It is the
I
greatest
know.
leadership. Yeah, that's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I just feel like it's difficult, but you know what? I need to change my mindset. I need to change my mindset.
You know what? Sorry, just really quickly. You know what comes to my mind is that this is a good example. So I also work in the automotive industry, and I like I said, I'm a recruiter for Quick Lubes, and so
Mm-hmm.
we do oil changes. And this week we have this thing called CECs, where it's like this competition where like the VP of operations, all of the area managers, me, our trainers, we go to each store and they do a timed oil change and we're basically checklisting them. And the person that gets like the highest score like wins all of this stuff. And it's basically to make sure like everyone has the same standards, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's really fun. It's also very stressful for the teams and stuff. But one thing that I really noticed is like the leaders who the people, the stores that do the best, where like everyone is like checklisting perfectly, they have the best scores, it's the most clean. The leaders are like right there, kind of like in the trenches with the people. So it's like, this could be like with 7, instead of them being like, oh, you need to make sure like this
Yes.
is clean. It's like they're taking the rag and they're like, okay, come on, like, look, this is how we're gonna do this. This is why. Like, I'm gonna help you. Like, don't you want to become an area manager one day? Like, this is how you're gonna shine. I'm gonna help you. Like, you're gonna kill it on your checklist. So instead of like them kind of like demanding the team to do good so they look good, they're like, no, this is why we look good because this is gonna help you grow and blah blah blah. So it's like kind of like that. I
It's
see a 7.
teamwork. It's
Yeah.
teamwork. Teamwork makes
Hmm.
dream work. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I just want to quickly share my favorite gene key.
Yeah, tell me. I want to know.
3.
3? Which one's number 3?
It's I think the gift is innovation. The The shadow is chaos. And listen, okay, I do not have this in my profile at all. I don't.
Okay. Uh-huh.
My sister does, my best friend does, and just reading it, it's so like I don't the words of Richard Rudd. I fucking love him. It's
Mm-hmm.
so interesting because again, I feel like from what I remember, the shadow and just it's conditioning. It's chaos, but it's like this conditioning, this like out of controlness. And then I think the gift, what the fuck is it called? The actual name. Look, I have my Gene Keys with
And
me.
I'm like, wait, let me get my book too so I can follow along with you.
Yeah, it's literally through the eyes of a child. And I feel like, I don't know, maybe it
Oh, I
spoke to
love
my
that.
inner child. The gift is innovation. And I think it's so beautiful because it's the I I feel like it's like creativity and there's this like there's this innocence, which is funny because I think the city is innocence.
Yeah.
There's this playfulness. Again, I don't have this gene key in my profile, but it's like it speaks to me. It's just so like I feel like a lot of people need to embody it,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
I love that one so much. I love too how your favorite one isn't necessarily one that you have. I'm trying to see
Hmm.
what center gate 3 is because I wonder, you might not, but I wonder if you have gate 3 in your human design. Do you know?
I don't know,
Because that
Alyssa.
would because sometimes I get like really obsessed with one and then I'm like that I don't have and then I'm like wait I have that gate like that's so crazy. I'm seeing what center it's in. Oh, it's in the sacral center. Yeah, that would be interesting to see if you have that. Just it would just be interesting. But
I
I
don't
love it. I
know.
love that that's your favorite one.
It's my favorite gene key. And then I have look, I'm sharing gene keys. The
Hmm.
one, Alyssa, girl, the one that I am struggling with, the one that literally, when I turned 32 years old, something shifted. This was last August. Something shift like I feel like I have been going through hell. I have gene key 59 in my attraction, and it's my life's work.
What is the gift?
The gift is intimacy.
Oh,
And the shadow is dishonesty. And it took me a long time and I'm still figuring it out. But the amount of like dishonesty that I have with myself is disgusting. And
really? Like, tell me more. Like, what?
it's just like dishonesty. You again, I feel like it triggers stuff because like I said, I have the I don't know if like the attraction sphere can trigger the EQ or like what, but it's like so I was adopted and I was risen in a Mexican household and I feel like it has to do with identity. And
Hmm.
I am Mexican and black, but I did not grow up with like anything having to do with my African American side like at all.
Hmm.
So I feel like there's a lot of conditioning of like where oh like I'm this but then I don't really talk about that. Yes, I'm that, but I don't talk about it because I don't it's taboo. I don't touch it. And
Hmm.
I feel like with that it created this like this well, I'm not sure of myself, but you know, you're saying this, so I mean, might as well go even though sometimes there's like this like it's like I know that I'm being dishonest with myself, but I'm like, who cares?
Hmm.
It's bad. It's bad, Alyssa. Oh my God. But yeah, I'm learning how to be in the gift of intimacy. Because in the book, the Gene Key 59, it's interest it talks about the two auras and then how like it's split. And then to be in the gift of intimacy, they penetrate and then they create this third aura.
Hmm.
But I'm sitting here and I'm like, but I don't like that person's aura. How am I supposed to make a third aura when that person's judging me, which is my culture sphere? But anyway,
is it like family
family.
members?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. And it's like ones that like you have to be interacting with at all times?
No, but I
Oh.
feel like in my life it's the root of like my problems.
Mm.
Hmm.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
fun. I love life. It's fun. It's so fun. It's so fun. But
Yes.
yeah, that is the spheres. I could tell you I'm learning. I have like this I'm trying to memorize my hologenetic profile, and then my kids too. My
Hmm.
girls, they're twins, they're 11. I'm trying to teach them about the gene keys too, and
I love
their
it.
life's work is
Oh.
57. And the 57, I think the shadow is unease, and I think the gift is intuition. And they're already showing signs of like anxiety, like Scarlett. I know she has a lot of anxiety, stuff like that. They don't understand gene keys, but I try to like break it down and just like let them know, like, hey, just like listen to your gut. You're a manifesting generator, correct?
I'm a generator.
Generator. My girls
Yes.
are manifesting generators, and I believe they're three
Ah.
five. Manifesting generator 3-5. And Ellisa, it's a lot for me. I'm a projector 6-2.
Oh, yeah. So it's so much energy for you.
It is, and I'm just like, oh, tone it down a bit. But anyways, yes, I'm going through like what I can with the gene keys. I try not to go about like so deep into it, but they do have the um 57. And then you said your life's work was 54.
Yes, and my radiance is 57. And so I know that like that's one of my four prime gifts, so I know it so deeply, girl. Like
Oh my
literally it's
goodness.
that whole like the whole like inability to make decisions, like
Yes.
unease comes from being like I don't know, like what should I do? Like I can be so indecisive, and when I do that, that's why I have stress, anxiety, worry. But when I can just be like, no, I'm just gonna make a decision, and I just like step into that like clarity and not like use my intuition, it really does help me feel more healthy and like radiant. So I can really relate to that. Like it is a struggle.
No, yeah, for real. I could see it. And I'm trying. I know trauma is like inevitable. We all have it, but I'm like, look, I'm trying to make your life easy, okay? Your life's work is 57. Listen to your listen to your intuition. And then
Yes.
last thing I'm gonna say, my girls have their purpose is 54.
Ah, I love that.
Isn't that so
Wait, when is
crazy?
their birthday?
October 10th,
Wait, okay.
2014. Isn't
Is
that so
there
crazy?
is there evolution? Um, do
53.
they yeah, and then is 51
Oh,
their
wait.
radiance?
Hold on. Wait, no. Swap. The radiance is 53, the evolution's 51.
Okay, we have the same what's it called? We have the same incarnation cross. We have the same four prime gifts, but
That
they're
is
just
so
swapped. That's so
Alyssa!
cool. That
What?
is so crazy. That is so freaking cool.
That
Oh my
is
God.
Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. I'm
Okay,
like, what?
I'm gonna send you I have this book about incarnation crosses, and like they're all a little different depending on like their life's work. So I'm gonna send you a screenshot later of like theirs so that you can like read it, because it's like it's really
Yeah.
fun to see it kind of like all together of like what your purpose is through like human design, the incarnation cross. But yeah, that's so crazy. Oh my God. So we have like we're so similar, like me and them.
I
I love it.
know. And it's so crazy because Scarlett wants to be like this, like her dream is she wants to be a YouTuber. Alea, I'm not sure. I'm still trying to figure that girl out, but she's very like nurturing, she's very loving, she's very in tune with herself. So I'm
Mm.
like, okay. Scarlett and Alea always tell me, Mom, like literally, once you die, I'm gonna take over your podcast. Like, what the fuck?
Oh my God. Wait, how old are they again?
11.
Oh my God. Wait, are they Cancer or Libra?
They're Libras.
Okay, okay, got it. That's so crazy.
They're
So that
Libra
means
suns with Pisces rising and a Taurus moon, and I know you have a Taurus moon.
yes. Oh my God. Okay, so four like really important zodiac signs for them because of the four prime gifts is the Libra, Cancer, Aries, and Capricorn. That's like their four. Those are like those four zodiacs, which is like really cool
Ooh.
to just to know.
Oh, that thank you for that. I love
Mhm.
that. We got sidetracked. It's okay, girl.
I know.
Oh my God. No, but
Yeah.
wow. Okay. Huh. All right. Okay, so tell me, Alyssa,
Mhm.
how did this even like come about? Like your business. How did it come
Mhm.
about? Because I feel like it's so I I feel like it's so difficult to get into. Maybe it's my inadequacy. I don't fucking know. But I feel like there's so many people like for me, right?
Mhm.
Like I've come across where like I'll sit here and I'll like do a reading on someone and then like I'll like offer something and then they'll be like it's okay, I'll go to my therapist. And it hits my inadequacy because I'm like I'm not certified.
Oh, girl, yeah. No, like you, that inadequacy is always going to lie to you. But what's more important, in my opinion, is your life experience. Like your life experience, your personality, the way that you
Hmm.
hold space, like all of your like personality traits and like the things that you think are interesting, like all of that is like way more important. Like literally no one ever asks us for like credentials. If they, and I guess it is different if they, if you're trying to help walk them through through something that's like traumatic and they're
Yes,
like,
yes, yes, yes.
yeah, and they're like, oh, I really want to seek a therapist, then honestly I think that's like you're doing yourself
Yeah.
a favor, because like thank God that they're going and seeking help
Yes,
somewhere
yes.
else,
Hmm.
because it would probably be really difficult like to like with certain,
I'm not certified. Like any mental health stuff, like don't come my way because I
yeah.
can't.
But there's
Mm-mm.
like there's so many different ways though that you can, like depending on the things that you love to do, that you can focus on and that you can help
Hmm.
people with.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm
Mhm.
working on it, Alyssa, but tell us how you got into your like how it blossomed because you're
Mhm.
popping.
So for me, I was in the same company that I'm at now, but I really hated my life because I was working in the service center as a manager, which on paper, like my career was like looking really good. I was making really good money, but I absolutely hated it. Like I had like severe eczema breakouts like on my hands. This was during COVID, so I was still living in Bakersfield. It was like 100 and something degrees outside. We had to wear like full PPE masks, like outside working on cars, and it was really hard to like lead a team, and I just felt like really just not aligned with my energy. Like my energy is not meant to like lead a team or work with like groups of people. It's like this is also kind of like part of our designs, but I'm really meant to be an individual contributor. Like that's how my energy thrives. So anyways, I moved back to San Diego during COVID. Me and my boyfriend did, and we lived with my mom for a little bit until we were going to get our own place. But we ended up staying for 2 years because
Mm.
we just got stuck there. But I literally would go to work. And girl, I would go on my lunch break and literally cry in my car and like fantasize of like quitting and never coming back because I was so stressed out. I freaking hated it. I hated it. I would like get my little Oracle cards. So on the side, I was like any off time that I had, I was like listening to podcasts, reading books, learning all of these things, right? All these spiritual things. I would go to my car, look at my little oracle cards, literally want to cry. And then one day I was like, my boyfriend was like, if you feel that sad, like why don't you just quit? And I was like, wait, you're so right. I'm going to look for jobs and apply tonight. So I literally went home. I looked for some reason. I was like, oh, I need to look for an office admin job. I had no idea what an office admin was. I had literally have no idea. So I applied to like 30, not 30, probably like 15 jobs. I went back to work the next day and read an email that said, hey, we have an office admin position open up in San Diego if anyone wants to apply internally. And I was like, you're fucking lying. Like, this is like literally manifestation. So I was like, I had a co-manager at the time, so I was like, "Oh, can you go like take care of everyone on the floor? Like, I'm applying to this job." And he was like, "Really? Like, you don't want to be a manager anymore?" And I was like, "Fuck no!" So I was like, I like put in my application. I like emailed the VP of operations, and I was like, "Hey, I saw this opening came up. Just so you know, I'm super interested. Like, I can't wait to like interview." And then, long story short, I ended up getting the job. So that commute was like 50 miles to the office every day. So what I would do is I would listen to like again podcasts. I took like different coaching certifications, and I would do that like on my off time, like night times, weekends, and then eventually I just like learned enough stuff and was just like so excited to help people that I just like started my business in 2021, and it really evolved over time. Like so I first started with like Reiki and like purpose coaching, sobriety coaching,
Mm,
um,
okay.
yeah, and then I just kind of like kept finding my thing until I really realized like what did I actually love to do. But the whole time I was still like growing on Instagram, or just I don't even have a lot of followers, but I was just like, to this day I still don't, but I
Hmm.
was just like always showing up. And then I found human design, got obsessed, started teaching that, and then found the Gene Keys, got so freaking obsessed, and then just started teaching that. And I feel like everything really opened up for me when I stopped trying to show up in a way that I thought I had to. And I was just like, well, how do I actually want to help people? And so, for example, like I love doing my readings recorded. Like again, that personal or I'm sorry, like individual contributor energy. Like I work so good in my own space where I'm just like, oh, I'm in my own vibe and it feels so good and I can like channel my clients. And so the moment that I did that, literally and like tripled my prices, I sold a reading within 20 minutes of like not even ever advertising it. And then from there, it just kind of like took off. And it's because I loved what I was actually doing. And I didn't have like, you know, when sometimes you're offering something that you're like low key subconsciously dreading and you're like, I actually hope no one signs up for this because I actually don't want to like facilitate this. I don't know if you've ever felt like that, but
Hmm.
I felt like that for so long of like, oh, I actually like this feels really like muddy. I don't really know. Like, I don't really like this. Like, so nothing sold because I wasn't super convicted and excited about it. So then when I just found the thing, so that's why I always tell people is like, maybe you're finding the thing that you're literally so obsessed with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm.
And then I feel like also, um, just like claiming your own expertise because no one's going to tell us that we're an expert, but you can literally just wake up and be like, bitch, I'm an expert. And like that energy will translate to other people.
Yes. The
Hmm.
confidence. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that about you, Alyssa. You like radiate this like I know, if that makes sense. I love that. And I also love the fact that you literally said you went from like the Reiki to the sobriety coach type thing because like a lot of I've taken so many courses and they like it never, now that I'm looking back, it doesn't make sense. It never made sense to me. It gave like um I felt very constricted and very boxed in, really.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. I've paid so much money for that stuff and literally like meeting you and then like other, people that I've met with like the gene keys and just like breaking things down and I'm just like it no shit, it doesn't fucking make sense. Like, you
And
know?
yeah. And don't you feel like with the gene keys, it fucking makes sense? Like
It
it's like a clear structure of like, oh, this is literally what our life is. Like,
But
right?
again, I feel like we're conditioned to you need to work hard. You need to be struggling in order to make money, in order to have a business. You need to be able to niche down. That is one thing that I used to hate when it came to like the coaches that I had, where it's like Cynthia, niche down, Cynthia, that's not gonna work. And then I'd just be like, okay, well, I'm gonna do it either way. And they're like, okay, well, you're not gonna get anything from it. I'm just like,
Yeah. Something that really helped me that I feel like makes way more sense that I learned that actually does work is instead of niching yourself down, if you can niche the offer down. Like if the
yes.
offer makes sense and then as a creative ass bitch, you can keep creating different offers and like fulfill your creativity and like you never feel stuck into anything because you could help people with relationships, you can help people with trauma, you can help people literally with anything. Use the gene keys, use your energy healing, literally use everything that you do and just have different specific offers. I feel like that's the key.
No, for real. And I feel like it's so beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. You have some programs, right?
Hmm.
Talk about them, please.
Yay! Okay, so I have my favorite baby, which is the Healing Bubble membership. And so this is so iconic because it's basically like an on demand library of meditations, hypnosis tracks, energy healing. So it's really meant for the spiritual entrepreneur who has everything come up like on our path. Like literally, I call it the path of the initiation because it really is like an initiation, like being a spiritual entrepreneur, like it's really hard. And so working on our frequency and just like getting in the correct like energy feels so good. And then through that, I also do a weekly cosmic forecast, which I'm obsessed with. So as our sun transits through the different gene keys every like 6-ish days, we go through a different gene key. And so I do like a long form like audio transmission on that and like how we can really tap into the gift as leaders, how the shadow might be showing up in business, how I'm leading myself through business in my life, which is just so iconic. And now I'm so excited because we do monthly live experiences, which I'm obsessed with. And I also, of course, do like Gene Keys readings, private mentorship, and energy healings, kind of like a lot of different things. Everything's on my Instagram.
It's a whole vibe. I'm in the healing bubble and I love listening to your audios. It's just like, oh my God. And then the I was in the last one that you had and it was so beautiful. The shit, Cynthia.
Oh yeah,
The
the master your
yes,
reality.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Hmm.
yes. I love the way that you structure and I love the way that you guide and like your wording is just
Mm.
so beautiful. I want you to talk about the portal of you because that one I have had my eye on. I'm gonna be your student, okay?
Yes, yes. Okay, the Portal of You is literally my baby. So this is like my private mentorship where literally you get access to everything. So I forgot to mention this, but throughout the years, I also run a couple of different group programs that actually guide us through like the different sequences of the gene keys.
Mhm.
So I have one called Prosperity Pathway, which takes us through the Pearl, and then I have one called Love Pathway, which takes us through the Venus sequence. So inside the Portal of You, though, you get access to all of those group programs and then private mentorship with me. So this is perfect for any spiritual entrepreneur, anything that you're going through in your business, anything that you are going on. Also, like really personal life. Like all of my clients always have stuff with like partners that come up because we're human. And so it's really special because the gene keys are so like literally encompassing of our hero's journey. We go through all parts of your hologenetic profile, which is really iconic. So yeah, that's like my private mentorship.
Yes. Thank you for
Hmm.
that. Thank you for that. Oh, I'm so
Yes.
excited. Thank you for being on here. I want you to I'm gonna have everything in the socials,
Hmm.
like on the show notes. But if you can let us know where we can find you and like where you're most active for anyone that wants to contact you.
Yes. So I'm most active on Instagram, which is I am Ellisa Mae. So which you'll have in the show notes because like the spelling is funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Instagram's the most where I'm like at the most. There's also a link in the bio that has all of my offers. My podcast is linked in there. Cynthia, you actually inspired me to like get back on my podcast because I haven't done it like a year or so. Cynthia's going to be one of my first guests back, so you guys are going to have to check
Yay.
out that episode. And yeah, everything. Yeah, mostly that. I'm going to be also starting a YouTube channel, which is going to be coming shortly, so that'll be all linked through my Instagram.
YouTube channel that's not connected to the podcast.
Yeah, it's going to be like both. I think I'm going to have a little portal where it's like, oh, this is the podcast, but also like actually YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, which I'm excited
Nice.
for.
I
Hmm.
love that. I'm excited. Okay. So I'm going with the flow. This is just like something so random. What is it that like any so two questions. Any advice that you would give anyone that's like struggling in their like business?
Mm. I would say go back to, well, two things. Forget all of the rules and go back to what feels good. Like, um, there's so many, like, I have this like theory where when we have these like spiritual awakenings, we kind of think we like break out of the matrix or whatever. But then like when we become spiritual, like entrepreneurs, you don't have to be spiritual, just an entrepreneur in general, we kind of fall back into this like other matrix where it's like, oh, you have to show up like this. Like you said, like you have to have a niche and you have to do all these things. And then it makes us feel really restricted. And as creative people, all we want to do is help people and have the fucking clients to help them. And then it's so hard because we're wearing all of the hats at the beginning. Like we're the marketers, we're the customer service, like we're all of these things. And so
Yeah.
really we want to thrive in session, right? And like use our magic to heal people and help them. But we do kind of also have to do all of these other very like 3D things. So I would just say simplify, forget all of the rules, and all you really need to be successful is literally like an offer, like have something you're always selling, have it be formatted to what how you really love to do it. If you if you love live stuff, do live sessions. If you don't do live. If you love having like Telegram access, offer that. If you don't. There's literally no rules. You can literally sell anything you want. Always have something you're selling and just make it super fun. You just need to sell something and have a payment link. That's really all you need. And like make it fun.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Make it fun and simplify.
Yeah.
Period. And then What would like, is there any words, any quotes that you would like to tell little Alyssa right now?
Oh, I love that. Oh my God, that's so cute. Um, I would just say like, oh my gosh, we're doing it.
Oh
Like I
my
just like I don't know why
gosh.
I literally saw the right now like when you asked me that I saw Elle Woods from Legally Blonde and like but like she doesn't say this in there but it's just like I just saw her and it was just so funny. I was like, "Oh my God," because that was honestly one of my favorite movies growing up. But yeah, I feel like we're doing it. We're doing the thing that we love.
Oh my God. I want to give your inner child a hug. Oh my goodness. But thank you again, Alyssa. I'm gonna have all her stuff in the show notes. And yeah, until next
Okay.
time, bye.
Bye.